Shalom. All right. Salaki, I just was doing a stream, canceled it, cut it off. Getting be having headphones in. Salaki, like I said, I was doing a lesson just now. Um, but I canceled it or cut it off. I'm on a job, so I had to take a call, which is all good. But I do want to do this lesson though, through the spirit. Um, Dealing with this quote that I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard, a lot of us have heard. Um, People love to say that one way that we'll know that we're in the end times is because we wouldn't be able to uh, distinguish the seasons. All right, give me 1 second. I'm looking up something as I'm speaking on this. Yeah. Let's see. I'm looking up some lyrics. Bear with me 1 second. I'm still here. I'm just. But whatever, I'm gonna find it if I can. But this idea that in the Bible, and people love to say that, in the Bible it say that you're not gonna be able to tell the seasons from one another. In the Bible, you're not gonna be able to, that link, that speech. All right, I'm a little distracted. Yeah, it's all good. If I find it, I'll find it. But nevertheless, so I did a little digging, right, on does the Bible, now I got this from Got Questions. This is what they said about it, right? About, and they asked somebody, I guess plenty of people asked this question. Does the Bible indicate that in the end times, people would not be able to recognize the different seasons? So, let it be a little warm in October, November, December. The first thought that goes to most of these people's minds out here is, um, that's how you know we in the end, because it's October 15th and it's 75 degrees, or man, everybody believes that their individual experience within the weather is a sure indicator of biblical prophecy, because there's still leaves on the trees. That's a signifier that we're in end time prophecy, right? But then when you tell these same people that say this dumb shit, well, we're in end time prophecy because in Matthew the 24th chapter it says that there should be famines, pestilence, earthquakes. They don't want to hear that. They push off the end time because you just been quoting this. You've been saying this quote for so long. This is greasy grandma doctrine. All right. This is something you heard some old person say, and you just been running with it, and you've never proven it, disproven it, or even went into it. So let's go into it. All right. So it says the question is usually framed something like this: does the Bible say that in the last days will you be able to know the seasons except by the changing of the leaves? We have been asked this question many times and have done extensive research into its origins, but have never been able to find the source of the idea. Recently, someone helped us find the origins of the concept. Eventually, it comes from the 3 days of darkness prophecy by Padre Pio, a Roman Catholic priest. Padre Pio. All right, hold on real quick. All right. Oh, that's a good one. But refuse, First Timothy 4:7, and it says, but refuse profane and old wives' fables, and exercise thyself rather unto godliness. Right. There's plenty of things there's plenty of biblical prophecy that you could actually say that is a signifier that we're in end times. But to lean on something else, you're leaning onto Jewish fables. You're actually adding to the scriptures. You're actually taking away. You start getting into the danger zone. And that's what you're trying to avoid. Okay? Now let's get this. I want to show you this person. This is who said that. He lived from 1887 to 1968. Padre Pio. This is who made that statement that got you niggas in a chokehold until this day. Until this very day, you got niggas that like I say, let it be a little warm in November. Let a warm day come through. Let it be like 78, 80 somewhere. That's how you know we in the end. You know the Bible say. You know the Bible say that in the last days we're not gonna know what the seasons are. So it says 3 days of darkness prophecy. So he had his own prophecy. Because nowhere in the Bible does it say that. All right. The Lord is very much about, let the scriptures say, let all things be done in decency and in order. The Lord is about order. When he set these things up and he put it in motion, it was in order. All right. Now, can you have phenomenons? Can you have once in a lifetime weather events? Yes. Yes. Yes, it would be a shocker if it snowed in July. That would be some crazy shit. That'd be like, what the fuck? You know? But nowhere in the Bible did the Lord say, and thou shalt see snow in July and tornado and hurricanes in December, and that's how you know that I'm sending back my begotten son. You see? Now let's go from there real quick. Let's get a few scriptures. Let's go to Revelation 22. All right. This is Revelation 22 and 18. And it says, for I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. This is one of those things that tries to be added. All right. You know. So this is a thing that's added. All right. And like I said the other day, I was just sitting there, I was watching a video, and niggas, the biggest thing now on the internet, which is our level of truth. You do look around and you be like, man, what the hell? Like me, I'm in Atlanta, and I'm sitting in this parking lot, and a few trees. I seen a video a week or so ago, and this guy was like, he's in Milwaukee, and he was like, man, where the leaves at? Where the leaves at? Blase, blase. They still on the trees, man. What the hell? And like I say, niggas with these old folks tale, Jewish fable, campfire stories, right? Padre Pio stories, will lean on that and think that that's a sign of the end times, right? And I said to my rib, I said, well, if we get another week or so go by, and this, I was like, we'll pay attention, and I said, we'll see what happens over these next week or two as far as the weather. Wake up this morning, the seasons do exactly what the hell they supposed to do. It's a little nippy, early in the week, it was the early, we were early, the top of the, the late 70s, early 80s, temperature wise still. This morning we in the mid 50s. So this is when the weather starts to really truly break. Mind you, fall didn't start until September the 22nd. So technically speaking, we're only like 2 weeks into fall. But niggas will use this as a, oh, see the tree's still green. What the fuck, man? That year that you referencing back to when you was a childhood, it could have simply just been a wet fall and winter. It could have been a colder year on average than average. You know, it could have been a lot of different things. But I'm making light of this. But in the seriousness of it, you're actually guilty of this. That's in Revelation 22nd chapter. That's adding to the scriptures. When the disciples asked the Lord in Matthew the 24th chapter, what shall be the signs of thy coming? There's nothing listed there about you not being able to distinguish the seasons from one another. See? It's a danger. Every idle word. You got to be mindful of the things you say. You know? But a lot of people, you have a zeal, so you start creating bullshit. Your zeal is that the end is gonna come, so you start creating these idiotic thought processes. Okay. Now the Lord is the Almighty. He could do whatever the hell he wants with the seasons. He could, if he wanted to make it. If he wanted to make it snow next summer, and this winter is tropical, he could do that. All right. Yeah, it's getting dark. Yeah, these concepts be really whooping these people's ass, man. You know, and they run with it, but then they hear us, and then they get challenged with these stupid ass statements, and then they just become scoffers. They just scoff and scorn. All right, let me get that. Let's get this. This is Proverbs 1. Proverbs 1 and 22. And it says, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. The simple ones. How long will you simple ones? This is old, stupid Christian dogma that a lot of you have been just leaning on as if it's gospel. Like I said, it hit me. I'm like, who the I've never, I'm like, you know, sometimes people be saying shit and you just be like another one that people just say, and it's just like, please, somebody show me where in the Bible does it say that. This is one of those moments for me. Same thing with you know, Lucifer, he was the choir director, and he was up there in heavens, and he was melodies from heaven. That was Satan. Like, that was Lucifer. He was just rain down. He was just up there just cooking up music. And then, you know, the Lord kicked him out. Like, where the fuck does this choir, Lucifer being the choir director, shit come from? These are all Jewish fables. These are all made up stories that a lot of your grandmas and your great grandmas made in some fucking cornfield, and you niggas still lean on this shit as if it's true, when you can crack open the Bible and read it, and the Lord done set up his teachers to give you the answers. How long will you simple ones love simplicity? This is a simplistic thing. Now you believe in that. Now your only belief that the Lord is coming back. This is how you people fall for the okie dokes. You fall for October the 8th or whatever is the rapture. You're always looking for these stupid ass signs when the Lord gave us solid, direct signs to let us know that we are in the time of the end time. Direct points. But those aren't good enough for you. Yes. Yeah, Lucifer was up there on his Kirk Franklin shit. Hey, like Satan was up there as he was Donnie McKirkland. making all kind of gospel music. Satan in the Sunshine Gang or some shit. You people, man. But then when we go in the Bible, like no. But the Lord did say that there would be pestilence, earthquakes, earthquakes in diverse places, signs in the heavens, signs in the sun and the moon and the stars. The Lord gave us all these things. The love of many shall wax cold. When you tell people all this, man, that's just, you know what? That's just your own private that's your interpretation. What Bible you read from? Now you're gonna go directly into scoffing and scorning into what I'm saying. And what I'm saying, what we brothers here are saying, is out of the Bible. You guys can't pull nowhere out of the Bible this seasonal changing prophecy. All right. Yeah, exactly. All these super moons, these eclipses, all of these different things were given as signs. But y'all don't, you scoff and scorn at that. You scoff and scorn at a new moon. You scoff and scorn, y'all scoff at these things. You don't delight in this. You hate this knowledge. Man, it really is blasphemous to say that shit. Because you're adding to the scriptures. You're adding. Nowhere in there. Okay? Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you, and I will make known my words unto you. Even the Lord is making his words known unto people through his prophets. All the men and all the brothers, the men that the Lord got set up from our apostles and elders on down, we're here to give you the answers to reprove you on this madness. But you think that after going into this and exposing the fact that Padre Pio is the one that came up with this, and it's already been disproven? Shit, my mama said that you not going, my grandmama said, you're not gonna hear it because you hate knowledge. You love simple shit. That's simple, that makes a lot of sense, because your simple ass mind can't register or fathom how the fuck is it 83 degrees in October and November, and that just means that just means Jesus Christ coming back. Because I have called and ye have refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. Yeah, this is part of it. Correcting these wayward doctrines, these stupid sayings, these stupid thoughts, these superstitions, as the scriptures speak about. Little warm that you see us. It's just as simple as that. Not what the scriptures say. Every idle word, you just murmured some bullshit. Now the scriptures do say the Lord will wink at your ignorance. We've all said this and thought this because somebody around us has said it to us. But once you get it, you should be able to dive deeper into these scriptures, and you would study and see it ain't there. All right. So let's go back to this article I'm reading. All right. Now it says, evidently it comes from the 3 days of darkness prophecy of Padre Pio, a Roman Catholic priest. And nothing dealing with the Roman Catholic Church has anything to do with the Bible. Catholicism and Christianity have nothing to do with the Bible. All right. Let me see something. I'm typing in something as I'm. Let's see. All right. So I looked into this Padre Pio. Yeah, Salakia. Yeah, I'm gonna look more into this, but basically, see, even with that, you just quoting something, not knowing where it going to, and this it goes into a lot of okay. So it says this prophecy, the prophecy of Padre, it says Padre Pio did not predict a period of 3 days of darkness. Any such claims are false and attributed to a letter written by a German religious cult that was later outlawed by the Vatican. The Capino order, to which Padre Pio belonged, has repeatedly denied he made such a prediction, and the associated quotation lacks a traceable source, according to Catholic Answers. Yeah, of course. Um, the idea of the 3 days of darkness in a private revelation associated with several Catholic mystics and seers included Blessing Maria Tarja, who did have visions of this event. However, it is not a prophecy officially recognized by the Catholic Church. The prophecies typically describe a period of supernatural darkness accompanied by storms of fire and suffering, from which one of those is in a state of grace and who seek protection through the insurrection of the Virgin Mary will be spared. All right, so a lot of this goes into the Virgin Mary worship. Okay, so now again, this is all the confusion around this individual that a lot of people are quoting unto this very day as if it is gospel. Okay, now it says the exact quote appears to be, "You will know when that time is approaching, because the seasons will change, so that the only way you know the seasons is by the leaves of the trees." This not knowing the seasons except by the leaves concept is not biblical. In fact, there are verses in the Bible which actually teach the opposite. Let's get that. It says Genesis 8:22 declares, "As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, day and night will never cease." Like I said, the Lord does everything in order. That would be extremely out of order if when it's supposed to be spring, um, it's now it's where it's supposed to be spring, it's now stupid hot or stupid cold. The Lord does everything in order. The scriptures tell you in the law to pray for the dew for let's get that. Actually, I haven't got that in a long time. Let's see. What is that? I think that's Deuteronomy 6. Bear me one second. I'm trying to pull a precept. Um, Bear me one second. I'm sorry. It's all in the spirit, so I don't have a. Oh yeah, there we go. This is Leviticus 26:4. This is a good one. It says, "Then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit." So this all goes hand in hand with in its due season. The season. Let's get that actually. Let's see what that word there is, due. It's DEU, not DEW. What was that? Leviticus 26:4. I'm gonna get this in a blue letter. Forgive me, I'm working on a phone that's not mine personally, so it doesn't remember. The Leviticus 26. Let's see what it says there. For due. Looks like it's, what is this? A thaw. I'm. Forgive me. I haven't had to touch. Oh shit! About to witness a car accident. But it says here the definition, the Strong's definition is time, especially now, certainty, continually, evening, morning, noon. So it's a specific time. So the due season, there's a as the scriptures say, you have an in season and you have an out season. So you have a season of which, this, like, think about it. The Lord has it where the world is set up for. You have you have the spring where the new year comes in. The seasons start. You prepare your soil. The end of winter, going into the spring, right? You prepare your soil, plant your seeds. You start getting seeds come the first part of the summer. You start to harvest, right? You get what I'm trying to say? Like there's a order to each season that the Lord set in place. So for the Lord, which again, hear me out, the Lord could do whatever the hell he wants to do. The Lord could make it super hot in the winter. Like here in Georgia, instead of it being, 20, 30 degrees or whatever the case may be, oh, we just dealing with 103-degree weather. But that would be off. In the senses of, there's animals that need the temperature to drop. There's bugs. There's a lot of things that goes into this, okay? So this guy just saying this is just like, you're just making up shit, as he did. All right? So let's go back to this article. So Genesis 8:22 says, as long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, night and day will never cease. Those are signs. Those were established in the spirit by the Lord. These things aren't going to change. Okay? You don't plant seeds in the middle of winter. Okay? Can you grow certain things during the winter time? Absolutely. But when do those things, see, even in the winter, right now is when you would have planted your fall, your fall plants, right? Collards, collards, kales, mustard greens, spinach, not spinach, I said that, like squash, zucchinis. There's different fruits and vegetables that they'll say, oh, no, such and such not in season. Watermelons aren't in season right now. Why are watermelons not in season right now? Because watermelons are planted during the spring and harvested mainly during the late spring and the summertime. It's a summertime fruit. Okay? So that's just the order of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right, I'm gonna open my phone back up. All right, now this says Matthew. He got as examples. Matthew 24:32-33 exclaims, "Now learn this lesson from the fig tree. As soon as its twigs get tender and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near." That's order. The Lord, like the Yahweh Shai, is speaking about the order of the seasons. If you're in tune with these things, you could tell when the seasons are changing. You can look in the sky and say, yeah, the way the moon position lets us know is what time of the year we're in. That's what it tells us in Genesis, the first chapter. That's what it tells us in the Sirach, the 40th chapter or somewhere in there, about the moon. The moon and the sun and the stars those are time tellers. So him saying that, oh, he said, when being too deep goes wrong. All right. Now it says, even so, when ye see all these things, ye shall know that the end is nigh, right at the door. All right. Hold on real quick. Hey, how's it going?
Check in with you. Say I'm still good, right? I always check in with you. I parked over here. I ain't paid, so I'm still.
Oh no,
good.
you're good. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, you're
cool.
good. On the JOB. All right. All right. It's Jeremiah 33 and 20. Let's pull that up. Jeremiah 33. And what did it say? 20. Let's pull it up. Jeremiah. Pull it up. 33 and 20. Let's see what it says. And it says, thus saith the Lord, if ye can break my covenant of the day and my covenant of the night, that there should not be day and night in their season, then may also my covenant be broken with David my servant, that he shall not have a son to reign upon his throne, and with the Levites the priests my ministers, and the host of heavens cannot be numbered, as neither shall the sand. See, the Lord set these things. Going back to Genesis, the seasons, the moon, the stars, the sun, all of these things were set up in perfection with Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, that these things are in place. They don't just, the summer don't, listen, just like in the Apocrypha where it speaks about that the waters can't go past a certain point, and the beach, they can't, you know what I'm saying? That's order. Okay? Summer just can't be like, because it's a spirit to all of this. All right? Now I don't know how it plays out in the spiritual aspect of this. What do I mean by that? Let me make that clear. In the senses of, I will go as far to say that every season has a spirit on it. There's an angel that governs all seasons. There's an angel that, if there's an angel over certain things, there's probably an angel over summer, angel over winter, angel over fall, angel over the angel that governs these things. So you think, and I'm speaking in the spirit of that, but I could be wrong. But I'm saying in the senses of, could you imagine if summer jumping the line? Nah, fuck that, nigga. It's my turn. Nah, I got 2 turns. We gonna have 2 summers this year. Yeah, nah, summer all year. You niggas get next year. Spring and winter, you get next year. It's gonna be a summer fall year. Come on, man. These things are in order. They don't break their rank. And the Lord set these things up to let you know it's impossible. All right? And then may also my covenant will be broken with David my servant, that he shall not have a son to reign upon his throne, and with the Levites, the priests, my ministers, as the host of heavens cannot be numbered, neither the sands of the sea measured. So I will multiply the seed of David my servant, and the Levites that minister unto me. Moreover, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah, saying, consider thou not what this people have spoken, saying, the 2 families which the Lord have chosen, he have even cast them off. Thus they have despised my people, that they should be no more a nation before me. So all of these things, right? Thus, verse 25, thus saith the Lord, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinance of heaven and earth, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for I will cause their captivity to return and have mercy on them. So again, like the brother just said about fall time. In the fall, the Lord has it set up that what happens? The days get shorter. Beyond daylight savings and setting your clock back, which we're going to do in, I think, the first weekend of November, right? Beyond all that, the days are shorter. Right now, there is no daylight savings effect yet, but it gets dark around 8 o'clock now, versus in the summer, it don't get dark till 9. That's an ordinance that the Lord has established with day and night. See, when you're in a harvest, these summer fruits and vegetables, right? You need more sun. You need longer days to work. That's the whole premise of daylight savings anyway, was to give farmers an extra hour or some bullshit like that to have time to work. So they adjusted the time for the sake of farmers. Growth. See, even with the due season, I will give you thy rain in this due season. Each part of the world, each season has a different type of weather. See, it rains a little bit more in this time in the summer here. Or there, it rains a little bit more in the fall. It's a little colder. You have wet and cold winters. Some people have dry winters. It's all about how the Lord set that ordinance up in that region. But some guys said, that's how you going to know that we in the end times, because you're not going to get the fuck out of here. All right. Now let's finish this article. It's almost done. I'm about to close this out. All right. Now it says, with these scriptures in view, the idea of the seasons being indistinguishable in the end times does not have any biblical foundation. So that whole you wouldn't be able to tell the seasons bullshit is not biblical. It's not. All right. Now, I'm not saying this as if I ever heard of nobody, because we studied the scriptures, but I'm saying this because these people out here, they lean on it like it's gospel. They believe it. These stupid boneheaded Christians really believe in that saying that you wouldn't be able to distinguish the times of the seasons or whatnot. They believe that more than actually us saying that we in the time of the MOTB. Think about that. It stops right there. Their mind doesn't go any further. Okay, well, if we're in the end times, that means we got to deal with the mark of the beast. We got to deal with these prophecies and so on and so forth. They don't want to deal with that because it's not about that. They're just demons. Okay? Hey, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and close this up. I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem, B'Kakodash. Hey, double honors unto my apostles and elders, a great millstone. I pray this lesson was informative and edifying in the spirit. Shalom to all you brothers. The water for all the comments and the scriptures left in the comment section. The water again